Hi everyone, this is Billy. I want to show you how I tested this watch crystal radio, and there's a shortcut where you can insert either a diode or an NMOS FET. Just plug into the right indicator. So this way the MOS FET is functioning. And the tuner of this watch crystal radio is by turning this gear, this knob of the watch. That will in turn move this ferrite ring, which is a half ferrite ring. I use the R40C1, the ferrite ring manufactured in China. It's a 45 millimeter in diameter. I cut it into two halves. The bottom half I used to fill this in as a base, and the upper half I just move it in and out of a 55 turns coil made of least wire. Least wire I'm using is 60 threads, 0.004 I think, 0.04 millimeter thin wires. 60 threads come together as a single wire. The idea is it will increase the Q factor, because the high frequency signal will tend to move and conduct through the surface of the wire. So more surface area, the least resistance, and in turn it creates the best Q value. Okay, let me show you inside. The coil is moved through this bevel gear. The most part of my design is spent in how to tune and create this bevel gear using the Fusion 360 3D printer design software from Autodesk. Even though there's a lot of different YouTubers creating this bevel gear, most of them are equal ratio. So I have to think about how to make one which is 10 to 40 teeth ratio. I need to turn 4 times in the knot before the ferrite coil will turn 1 turn. The smart credit card chips, giving it a better scale to have a fine adjustment on the tuning. Because the ferrite coil, this move in and out, the variation of that couldn't cover the full 9 times variation required by the AM frequency band, which is around 500 kilohertz to 1500 kilohertz roughly. Some people go up to 1700 kilohertz, so it's roughly 3 times, but the laws of physics says if you vary 3 times, the formula asks you to square that, so it means 9 times. So you have to vary the inductance by 9 times to get a 3 times variation in frequency. It's a bit complex, but look at the formula, you find out why it's like that. So in order to make the tuned frequency vary enough for the AM band, I have to make a switch here. This is a high-low switch, which I connected through a 2-point switch. Each point I connect to a different capacitor, fixed capacitor. One of that is 3 times lower than the other one. So that will make the variation I need. So for the upper band, I put into the high position. For the lower band, I put into the low position. This allows me to cover the whole AM frequency band. Okay, and this is the audio jack, and to filter out the high frequency, I put in a capacitor, 4700 PF capacitor. For the detector, I put in a socket, so you can put in what type of detector you have, like a diode or a MOS FET or a crystal, or recently I found credit card chip. 2 pins from that chip will be able to function as the detector. You can find 2 points where the forward and reverse resistance is different, and you can use that as the detector as well. Okay, so today I don't have a long antenna, but I have the umbrella loop antenna. So how to use that to connect to this one? We will connect both ends of the loop to this alligator clip. One end connect to the ground input of the antenna. The other end I connect into the A1 of the antenna tapping. So that means the loop antenna coil from the umbrella will be put in parallel with the resonance circuit of this watch radio. By that, it lowered the inductance by half, I think. But in the end, we are able to compensate that using this band switch. So we can finally tune to something. Let me test that for you. This is the crystal radio transformer without power that I use for recording through my iPhone. This is the watch radio. We are going to connect it to the antenna. And through this audio jack, it will be able to record the output without amplification through my iPhone mic jack. And let's hear the music.
Loud and frequent. There have been strategic nuclear drills and unsubtle hints to the West not to push Russia too far. A few days ago, Vladimir Putin announced plans to station tactical nuclear weapons in Belarus. And then, one of his closest aides warned that Russia has a unique weapon capable of destroying any enemy, including America. Is it all a bluff? Well, Dmitry Muratov has picked up some worrying signals.
Мы же видим, как российская пропаганда готовит народ к тому, что ядерная война.
We've got this missile, that missile, another kind of missile. They talk about targeting Britain and France, about sparking a nuclear tsunami that washes away America. Propaganda is a type of radiation. Everyone is susceptible to it, not just Russians. In Russia, Propaganda is 12 TV channels, tens of thousands of newspapers, social media, like the Russian version of Facebook, that completely serve the state.
啊，卖荤油甲什么油吼，迄个有一种薄荷油，薄荷油拢300，啊嘛。Образованное, прекрасное поколение.
Our younger generation is wonderful. They're well educated. Nearly 1 million Russians have left the country. Many of those who've stayed are categorically against what is happening in Ukraine. They are against the hell that Russia has created there. I am convinced that as soon as the propaganda stops,
Last year, Dmitry Muratov auctioned off his Nobel Peace Prize to raise money for Ukrainian child refugees. What does he think the future holds for Russia?
Я вижу, что больше никогда
never again will there be normal relations between the people of Russia and the
This is the end of the video. Thanks for watching. If you like my video, please click like, subscribe, share with your friends and click the bell. Thank you.